Hey there friends and enemies, JoPaWrites here again, and today I want to show off my new favorite Arc Titan build in Destiny 2 Season of the Wish, keeping in mind this build doesn't require any artifact perks at all to be successful, so it will still be good through the final shape and beyond, which is very exciting. This build is focused on having an arc special weapon with full shot, such as the Undercurrent Grenade Launcher from the Grandmaster Nightfalls or the Indebted Kindness Sidearm from the Warlords of Ruin dungeon. Both of those will work out very well, and they're new weapons, so a lot of people will be chasing them for sure. Now, as far as the subclass that I am rocking, I do have Thunder Crash on, as well as Thunder Clap, and then Pulse Grenade. This will work out really well, as I'm trying to generate the arc traces as often as possible, and with Touch of Thunder I will create those ionic traces periodically. Then we've also got Knockout. This is going to heal me with an emergency melee if I need to, and then moving on, the fragments are where this build really shines. Spark of Beacons, while you're amplified, your arc special weapon final blows create a blinding explosion. You're going to see me use my Wayframe Grenade Launcher, get a kill or two, and then create an explosion blinding enemies, which is very nice. Having a grenade launcher that is not only a wayframe but it can also blind as well is fantastic. Then we've got the Spark of Resistance. This is just in case I get in trouble and I'm surrounded. Spark of Discharge, arc weapon final blows have a chance to create an ionic trace, once again trying to create them as often as possible. And then finally, Spark of Ions. Defeating a jolted target creates an ionic trace. Obviously, with Jolt Shot on your grenade launcher or your sidearm, you're going to be jolting targets all the time. As far as primary weapons, this is very flexible. If you are in content that you need a weapon to take down a specific champion, you can swap this out. I just use the Lodbrok because I do enjoy this weapon. Kinetic weapons do more damage to like red bars and everything like that, so I just wanted to rock this for now. But again, this is very flexible for whatever favorite kinetic weapon you want to use. Moving on, we do have Grand Overture. Now this is going to be a bit of a sleeper pick for a lot of people. I know rocket launchers are in vogue right now because of how powerful they are with the current seasonal mods, but I do think Grand Overture is largely slept on, especially as a general activity type of weapon. Yes, it's not going to be the highest DPS all the time, but you can take out larger enemies very easily with its primary shot and then save its charged up rockets for bosses. So that's why I personally like it, and I think it is a weapon that can do very well in different activities. Moving on to the mods, I am rocking Heavy Ammo Finder, which is absolutely clutch. You definitely need as much ammo for this as possible. Kinetic and Arc Siphon, even though you don't generate as many orbs as you once could in the game, I do think it's important to have multiple ways to generate them as often as possible. Then we've got Momentum Transfer, Arc Loader, and then Fastball. Then Curse of the Falling Star is the exotic chest armor that I am using. It is still one of the best DPS exotics in the game with the Thunder Crash, so that's why I do think this is a great option for this build that doesn't have a quick melt option in any of the weapon slots, so having this is very important. Then we've got Solar and Stasis Damage Resist. These are important depending on the activity you're running. If it is a different threat, you can change it around pretty easily. And then Arc Reserves works for both our special and then heavy weapons as well. Then I've got Arc Holster and Double Arc Weapon Surge. Once again, this will work out for your special or your heavy weapon. So you got to make sure that you are getting as many armor charges as possible, and that's why I am running Benevolent Finisher in order to get those armor charges when I pick up Orbs of Power, Distribution, and Time Dilation as well. As far as the gameplay loop, it's pretty simple. You want to spam your abilities as often as possible because you are generating those ionic traces and getting your energy back for your different abilities back very quickly, while also spamming your special arc weapon. Whether it's Undercurrent or Indebted Kindness, doesn't matter. You want to use this as often as possible because you're going to see rooms full of ads just get cleared instantly. It is absolutely hilarious. And the best part is, even as the content gets more difficult, because it's a special weapon, oftentimes you'll find yourself still clearing ads very quickly, even as they are tankier. So that's why I like this combination quite a bit. Generating ionic traces all the time, which is very, very nice to see. The screen is like covered in them, which is pretty insane. And then make sure that you are using your Grand Overture throughout the activity. So one problem that I see people do oftentimes when they're running this weapon is they'll save it for the boss, and then they'll just have to slowly fire it at the boss and then charge up your missiles. Whereas what you really want to do is use it on major enemies and mini bosses and everything like that in order to generate the charges, so then when you get to the boss you have a fully loaded stock of missiles, so you can just instantly do a massive chunk of damage. You combine that with the Curse of the Falling Star, and you can take down boss enemies' health bars very quickly in one go, and that's something that I very much enjoy. But it's something that, again, you got to get used to the playstyle. So make sure you're using the Grand Overture throughout the activity, but also spam your abilities, spam your undercurrent, and it just feels very nice to have a build that I just feel like I can just throw everything out there and not really have to conserve any ammo or abilities or anything and use them in certain places. The other nice thing about this is if you're doing an activity that does have champions, you can Jolt overload champions, which is very, very nice, but you can also blind with that blinding explosion unstoppable champions as well. So even without considering changing your primary weapon, you can take down multiple different types of champions and stun them. So that's very, very nice. Plus with Thunder Crash, even in Grandmaster Nightfalls, you can one-shot pretty much any champion once they are stunned. So overall, I do love this build. I think it is a ton of fun, and it's one that I feel like will be underrated because everyone's focusing on Solar, Stasis, and Strand this season because of the current artifact mods. But we have gotten a load of new arc weapons that I think everyone should be trying out, whether it is the Undercurrent or Indebted Kindness. We also got the Albedo Wingglaive from the recent Dawning activity, and so we have a lot of different arc options in that special slot that I think will be very, very good over the long haul, and I definitely recommend chasing them down if you have not already. I'm a big fan of each and every one of them. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about running off-meta builds throughout a season, whether they don't have artifact perks that correlate with those builds, or if they're just builds that you don't see other people running at all. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, like I said, like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more Destiny 2 videos in the future. My name is JoPa. Have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.